We call the Mechanicsburg Borough Council meeting of January 20th to order. We will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. Here. Here.
Councilman McDermott. Miller.
Here.
Hellman.
Here.
Stoner.
Here.
Weber.
Here.
Mayor Ritter.
Here.
Solicitor Point. Here. Engineer Rogowski. Chief Spots.
Here.
Chief Seacrest.
Here.
Secretary Dennis.
Here. And we have guests here. We're going to have to present a resolution to Jay Stoner's widow. I will go down to meet her. Yours. This is Resolution 1-2015. Whereas in the power and infinite wisdom of the Almighty, a loyal and longtime borough police officer and sergeant, former councilman, borough resident J.L. Stoner, has been called from our fellowship by death. And whereas J.L. Stoner displayed excellent leadership, valuable service, and superlative qualities which were exemplary of his character. Now therefore be it resolved by the Borough Council and the officials of the Borough of Mechanicsburg, Common County, Pennsylvania, and with the power and the authority of the same, that we record our deepest sense of loss in the death of J.L. Stoner, and that we extend our deepest sympathy to the family who are mourning the loss of their loved one. Enacted into a resolution this 6th day of January 2015. I served a long time with him, and I was proud to be there. Thank you. Recycle Right Reward presentation.
The borough continues to not only encourage recycling, but also encourages the citizens to recycle right. So this year's January 2015 winners are Raymond and Teresa Crouch. Also, they are receiving 2 Hershey Bears tickets courtesy of Associated Products. I don't believe the Crouches are here.
Nope.
Oh, they are. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good. Turn them around to the and take a picture of them, please. Yep. Yes. One more. Okay. Do we have any citizens' comments or requests? Do we have any additions to the agenda?
Sir, we have 2. Consideration of possible action to participate in the Buckle Out PA Enforcement and Education Program for 2015, and discussion of possible action to authorize the President to sign a contract with Borough Solicitor Lisa Coyne for 2015.
We need a motion for the approval of the agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's been made.
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Correspondence?
No, sir.
We need a motion of approval of minutes of the regular meeting of council on January 6, 2015.
I make that motion.
Motion's been made.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion?
There is one correction, just a spelling on any other business. It's Music Alliance, not Music Allegiance. Just thought I'd throw that in.
We'll take care of that.
Just have to cross a couple letters out.
Okay, we have the motion, we have the, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Manager report?
Borough concluded its yearly audit today. They started Monday morning and they ended this afternoon. PennDOT will be in here on Thursday to conduct our bi-yearly, or once every 2 years, liquid fuels audit on Thursday. So we have all of our audits in 1 week, and then we're done for the rest of it.
Good, that's early.
Way to get it done. Way to get it done. Kudos to Glenda, who has to answer a lot of the questions. We're going to pull invoices for them and bounces around all over the office while they ask me questions about this and that and the other thing. So Glenda does an excellent job and doesn't get enough credit for what she does with them every year, because we literally shut down in here for a week. The ladies answer phone calls and we're dealing with auditors. So kudos to her, and hopefully this week will be over soon and we won't have to see them again for a year and then 2 years for PennDOT.
Very good. That's it? Is that it, Pat?
That's it. Yes, sir.
Mayor report?
Thank you very much. December 18th, the Mechanicsburg Borough Employee Christmas Luncheon, good food and pleasant talk. 30th, officiated wedding at Susquehanna Club in New Cumberland. 31st, annual wrench shop for Washies on East Main Street. Happy New Year with families and friends. January 6th, swore into office Mechanicsburg Fire Police. The 9th, officiated a wedding at the Union Church. The 11th, interviewed a Boy Scout with his father about citizenship in the community. 12th, Crime Watch speaker was Jay Farnham. His subject was Pennsylvania auto insurance. Much discussion followed. 17th, Pentagon performed at the Mechanicsburg Middle School for the benefit of the Mechanicsburg Music Department. I was there and enjoyed it very much, Gary. It was an excellent, excellent evening. Thank you. Trivia question, and whoever has the answer to this may be giving away their age. What's another name for the project? Why was it built? What is it at its location now?
It's the high school.
High school.
It was for the Navy.
Correct. And another, it was called Broad Marble Heights.
Well, yeah, that's what it was.
Now, you had the first answer, I think. And you're going to get a desktop calendar, Outhouses of Mechanicsburg. That's the last one I have.
The last one, yeah.
The last one I have.
Oh, my.
By the Museum Association.
All right. Thank you.
That's the report.
Chief?
Thank you. Just want to let council know that received citizen commendations for Officer Lazarevich for his work in a recent accident investigation, Officer Troy Myers for a criminal trespass investigation, and Officer Vincent for a call involving lost power to a business. That's it.
Thank you. Solicitor?
Yes, the only action item here of reference was the solicitor's contract being reappointed. It's the same terms that have been in place since 2012, no change in hourly rate limit.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Anything for the engineer?
Greg will be here at the next council meeting, and as riveting as it's going to sound, one of the things that we have to do for MS4 compliance is the engineer has to give all of council and the public a small dissertation on MS4 requirements. So if anybody from the public wants to come and listen to it, it's for council's edification as well as getting stuff into the minutes that we are promoting education related to MS4 and stormwater regulations. So he will be doing that.
Okay.
Will there be a test?
What's that?
Will there be a
I don't believe so.
You want one. There will be a prize for those who stay away from it.
It's massive.
Stay away for it, huh?
We have to go through, I think the laundry list is about 4 pages long of the different modifications that we have to make, stuff putting on the website. We have to, one of the things that we do that we're a little ahead of the curve on is the way we do our sewer bills now. We have to educate the public via that forum. Every time we put a sewer bill out, there needs to be some sort of, at least once a year, information that's out so the public knows what's going on with it. So we already do that, so it's kind of going to be a seamless transition for us, but that's one small example of it. All of the time, it's all going to be education at first, and then it's doing projects.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Thank you.
Greg's report.
Fire Chief?
Thank you, Mr. President. Attended the Borough Department Head meeting, also held a Borough Fire Officers meeting, and had one investigation of accidental fire in a garage. It was due to smoking material or misuse of smoking material. A reminder that Citizens Fire Company is having a breakfast buffet on Sunday, February the 1st from 7 to 11 o'clock. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Agenda item?
Consider approval of certificate of appropriateness for the following application. Robert Kepner, 243 East Main Street signage.
We have a motion.
Make that motion.
Motion's been made.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Consideration and possible action on the handicap parking permit request for Robert Wilson Jr. of 121 East Locust Street.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's been made. Seconded. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Discussion and possible action on creating a no parking zone on along South Arch Street by the CVS store.
Okay, basically, before we get into that, it's going to be from 6 p.m. Sunday night till 6 p.m. Tuesday night. They requested a 2-day. They get their deliveries in Monday morning and Tuesday morning. That's an ordinance. isn't
That's
it?
an ordinance, yeah.
So,
So you'll have to, the next agenda will have an ordinance on there for you to update.
Have the residents in that area been notified?
They have not as of yet, but we'll let them know that that's going to be on the next agenda.
That's just going inside their store, right? That's not.
I'm sorry?
That's just going in process in their store between Simpson and the alley.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct, yeah. That's where they get most of their deliveries.
I wouldn't know if it was going to go past the alley towards the
No,
Kelly.
no.
Just that small section.
That's a good question. Do they pull in there northbound or southbound?
I've seen them parked in that sidewalk facing, going up Arch Street, so I guess that would be good.
I think they probably do from Simpson.
So that's a motion to draft and advertise?
Right. That's what the motion will be, to draft and advertise. We have that motion?
I'll make that
The
motion.
motion's been made.
Second.
Seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Consideration and possible action to accept the resignation of substitute school crossing guard Charles Russell effective immediately.
Make that motion.
Motion's been made.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Discussion and possible action to approve the settlement of 2014 real estate taxes with Barry Eckert, tax collector, and authorization to forward 123 delinquent real estate and fire tax bills for outstanding real estate tax of $59,029.19 and delinquent fire tax of $11,439.77 in Cumberland County for collection.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's been made.
Second.
Seconded. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Discussion and possible action to approve the settlement of 2014 per capita taxes with Barry Eckert, tax collector, and authorization to forward 852 bills totaling $4,260 in delinquent per capita taxes to Penn Credit for collections.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's been made.
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Or opposed? I'm sorry. Motion carried.
Consideration and possible action to participate in the Buckle Up PA Enforcement and Education Project for 2015.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's been made. Seconded. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Discussion and possible action to authorize the president to sign a contract with Borough Solicitor Lisa Coyne for 2015.
I'll make that motion.
Motion's been made. Seconded. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Approval of capital, general, highway, sewer, and capital sewer funding expenditures from December 1st, 2014 through December 31st, 2014.
Motion's been made. Seconded. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Any other citizens' comments?
Did we do the PA buckle up? Yeah, we did.
Yes, sir. Good evening. How are you? Good. Richard Snyder, 338 West Main. Might have some work for at least the solicitor and the members of the council. Pennsylvania was founded in 1681. It's the birthplace of the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution of the United States. Now, Pennsylvania's Constitution predates the federal Constitution. What I'm about to say, as I'm the one saying it, should be characterized as an amicus brief, I guess would be the closest thing, because as a taxpaying citizen, I'm looking to avoid cost at all costs and inhibition on, people's freedoms so long as you're civilized and well behaved. Looking out for your rights as well as mine, but not necessarily in that order. Recently, you may know House Bill 80 was passed, which just added teeth to what was already the law of the land in Pennsylvania. People are familiar with the Second Amendment to the Constitution. Pennsylvania, Article 21, the right of citizens to bear arms in defense of themselves in the state shall not be questioned. And they put a period there, and that's pretty much what it is. Section 20, citizens have a right to peaceably manner to assemble together for the common good and to apply those vested with the powers of government for redress of grievances or other proper purposes by petition, address, or remonstrance. Okay. So, I would request that you take a review through the statutes within Mechanicsburg Borough to see that they do not violate current established, long existing, let's see, Chapter 6, Municipal Arms Regulations, Limitations on Municipal Powers, Regulation of Firearms. A municipality shall not enact any ordinance or take any other action dealing with the regulation or transfer, ownership, transportation, or possession of firearms. The House Bill 80 allows groups, like whether it's the NRA or others, to bring lawsuits, which cost money, and the losing party pays both sides. That's my understanding, but again, not a lawyer, just a citizen digging through a little bit. I noticed on the parks they have a little blurb on there right before the end that nobody but a law enforcement officer shall carry in your parks, which doesn't comply with the Pennsylvania law, that's what I understand. And with all due respect, the highest law enforcement officer in the county, the sheriff, saw fit to issue me one of these after investigating my background and my character, and found me in good standing, which I don't think, other than my conversations here, anybody's really investigated my background or character. So your predecessors may have put you in jeopardy of substantial costs, which I, as a taxpayer, would like to avoid. So at the earliest possible convenience, you might want to take a look through there. Cheryl Delogier's office is very helpful if you need anything. And thanks, and have a good day.
Thank you. Any other citizen comments?
I think let's look at it.
Yeah.
My understanding, I think, of the law, it changed that several municipalities, Philadelphia and others, changed their laws, that their municipal law was stronger than what the state law.
Well, yeah, and that's right. You can't make a law that it exceeds what the state allows. I mean, that's a fact.
Correct.
Is that not correct?
That is correct. Also, the House bill, as I understand, has already been challenged in Commonwealth Court. There have been different municipalities that have already challenged the enactment of that because it was enacted as an omnibus type of package rather than an individual type of enactment that would draw the public's attention to that. Secondarily, that regulation, even the House bill does not regulate or does not deny the municipality's ability to regulate the discharge of firearms in parks and that. So if council wants me to review the park regulations and the ordinance for that, I'd gladly do that with that caveat that it is being challenged. And
we probably ought to look at that and see if there is a possible chance of overstepping a boundary, if you don't mind.
And I'm not sure that's an ordinance other than just having a sign up.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Well, it's probably in the borough park rules and regulations, which falls under an ordinance, I believe. So
It exists as one of the regulations, which the ordinance adopts the regulations, but the regulations themselves are not specifically listed in the ordinance. But the ordinance does have enabling language to allow council to enact rules and regulations that then are effective in the borough. And one of them is a prohibition.
Then in that case, we'll take a look at it. Okay. Thank you. Any other citizens' comments? Any other business?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Thanks to the Stovers for coming tonight. That
Yes,
was
thank you very much.
very nice.
Mark?
Yeah, I got one more thing. I've been, somebody from, one of my friends sent me a thing the other week through the mail, through the social media, that didn't particularly like what I saw in it. And it came from one of our council members that basically, we have a problem with the rec board again or what? Because what I got out of it, there was a minute taken from a particular meeting that basically is blaming all this stuff that we're doing on the rec board. If there is a problem with the rec board and that council person has a problem with the rec board, be man enough and face up against everybody in this room and tell us if you have a problem or not. If not, keep that off the air, please. I think the person knows what I'm talking about.
Well, I think you're referring to a post that I made on my website, and I posted the minutes of the rec board because they're a public document.
I have no problem with that. But if you look, before that in council, we discussed it. You're acting like that's the first time anybody heard about that being in meeting at the rec board decided that's what we're going to do. We talked about at a council meeting before that.
Well, the rec board made a recommendation, which I disagreed with, and I posted my view and the disagreement that I had with the rec board, not only on my website, but vocally here at council meetings.
But then you have to put down the recommendation. It's not what it says there. That was saying that they approved it, that it went back to council. Yes, they approved it, but there was a lot of discussion that night on whether to approve it or not. And they heard from both me and the manager what was discussed at the council meeting the week before.
Well, the minutes are the minutes, and they're a public record. I posted them in their entirety on the website. If you have a dispute with the minutes, then that's...
I have no dispute with the minutes. I have a dispute with putting something like that on the website and not getting and not telling the whole public the whole both sides of the story. The public's seeing one side of this whole story.
What's the other side of the story if the public record is the rec board minutes?
Well, we put down, it was also discussed in that council, on the council meeting beforehand and the council meeting afterward. Why don't we have that on there? Why don't we just pull the rec board meeting minutes out?
I'm not entirely sure what...
We discussed it the meeting beforehand at the council meeting.
and that's public record as well.
Why wasn't that put on there?
I think that's just a question why you put the rec board meeting minutes on your website and not the other part of that same conversation from the borough council meeting. Was there a particular reason you used that instead of everything else from the borough meeting?
I used the rec board meeting minutes because that was the genesis of where the idea for the pickleball courts came from.
No, it didn't.
Is it not?
No, it did not. We discussed that beforehand. They were only hearing what we were told to tell recommendations from us.
So it is my understanding that council approved the pickleball courts.
We discussed it.
Before it was sent to the rec board. Is that what you're saying?
We discussed it before it went to the rec board.
And I believe we probably approved it, did we not?
We discussed it, the rec board had it, and then we approved it after that.
Right.
As far as I can recall, I don't remember approving the rec board or approving the pickleball court prior to the rec board.
We discussed it before that here. And it was discussed in their meetings, and they were okay if everything went all right, if.
But I still don't understand why.
You've had you've had Hardman on this rec board ever since 2 years ago. You've had a hard one-on-one for it.
I think you're trying to make an issue out of
All right,
something.
let's not get into a match here, okay?
No, I'm not.
That's it. That's the end of that discussion. Solicitor, we do not have anything for this executive session. I think what we discussed has been taken care of.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other business from you, Solicitor?
No, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
We will not be adjourning to an executive session. Matters have been taken care of. The meeting is adjourned.